Well, what if a single limit order could bring you 300 pips, an 8 RR, and help you pass your funded account? Well, that's exactly what happened to Surge Notify members. Some even bank 4 to 5 figures on a single trade. In this video, I'll be breaking down the sniper entry that made it all possible, so you can actually catch the next big opportunity. So make sure that you guys actually stay all the way to the end, because I actually have a few secrets I'm going to be sharing with you guys that's actually scattered across this entire video. So we're going to be moving right into it. So first things first, what I was looking at into this entire scenario, I want you to ignore this daily candle right here. I want you to focus everything that actually happened before. So if we're going to be looking into gold, we can easily say that, it's obviously bullish, right? A lot of people, the new traders, will obviously go to the daily and they'll just zoom all the way out and they're going to be looking like, yo, gold is bullish. It is bullish, that's correct. But you have to understand that if you're trading or if you're looking at the macro time frame, you want to be scrolling in, you want to be zooming in like this, and don't focus too much on the far left. If you're in the daily, weekly, monthly, just focus on what's presented on the most recent structure over here. So this structure points right here, you can actually tell that gold is obviously bullish. If you really cannot see it very clearly, you can just go to the line charts and you can see that gold created a breakout buy. So that means that your trading range are actually just sitting between this low and it's sitting between this high. So once you had the idea, you know that gold is easily bearish until you can see a candle closure under this low. You can even see that even in the line chart, you did not find any wick to the downside. So that means that not even at the H1, not even in H4 time frame was able to break this low. So that means that you know that this is going to be your structural point. You know that the market direction with price action alone, especially in the daily, was actually screaming bullish. So now, once I had that idea in my head, the next thing I did was easily just jump to the 4 hours time frame. Okay, so once I jumped to the 4 hour, the next thing that I was able to see is we did have a lot of wicks. Okay, wicks can actually tell a lot. Looking into this one, if you saw all these wicks right here, remember this is the low, this is the high. Let me just grab my wick right here. Now I'm sure that you're a little bit confused on what's going on here, but looking into the specific chart, what you can do next is, if you're confused, you can just easily go to the line chart. And looking into the line chart right now, you can see that we did have a market structure breakout and another breakout to the downside here. So once I saw this and we had another breakout buy here, and I'm sure you're like telling me like, hey, why would you look into the breakout buy over here when this low wasn't taken out yet? That's a very good question, because one thing I can tell you is, if you're gonna be looking into the market structure right now, okay, looking into the H4, you go to the line chart, you can see that this low got swept. Once this low got swept, this high got taken out. So it's safe to say that this can be the low. Once market structure popped to the upside, this then became the highest. The highest was the trading range, and we had a breakdown to the downside that would indicate that this is gonna be our lowest and this is gonna be our highest. So with that in the way, I was already telling myself that I'm like, wait, if we're looking to the daily is obviously bullish. If we're gonna be looking to the H4, we're having a bullish H4 range. And then once we had this breakdown sell, we were actually tapping into a demand level over here where buyers could actually enter the market. Or else, why do you think the market would, or the market actually went up, right? So the next step for this one is going into the lower time frame. I didn't look for an entry here. I just wanted to see some confirmation that the trend was actually going up. So once I saw the H4 was actually very, very strong to the upside, I went to the H1 time frame, and it was actually time for me to look for an entry over here. Okay, I want you guys to understand that I actually used the 3 key principles in this specific trade. But if you guys did not watch the video, maybe on the top right of the screen an annotation might come up or something like a link for you to actually take a look onto the 3 key principles that I use when it comes to trading. Anyway, moving back to the trade breakdown, you can actually take a look over here. Is that looking into the H4 alone, H4 is bullish. Okay, now if we jump to the H1, I'm sure that a lot of you guys are gonna be telling me like, hey, H1 is extremely bearish. Okay, you can see that you have a breakout here, you have a breakout here. Why would you buy? Like, that's absolutely stupid. But you have to understand this, okay? The H4 is stronger than the H1. The daily is stronger than the H4. If the daily is telling you to buy and the H4 is actually telling you to buy and H1 is telling you to sell, the sell over here is just gonna be a micro small movement. And that micro small movement sells that you're actually seeing was this one right here. This sell off 100 pips is still a lot, yeah, but if you want to be trading with the trend, you want to be following what the macro time frame is telling you, the daily and then the H4. So looking into this one right here, one of the 3 key principles that I used was also session timing over here, because there is actually session. So when I took this entry, this was during London session. So what I did next was identifying that H1 wanted to sell, and new beginner quote unquote smart money concept traders are obviously just marking this order block right here, taking their entry here. They're like, yo guys, we're gonna be targeting this external liquidity here, okay? Because I know this beginners traders They're like, yo, external liquidity target, everybody. Let's go, right? Because we got this double breakout. But little did they know is they did not watch this video. They weren't able to learn the secret of the importance of macro time frame and the directional bias. H4 in daily is telling us to buy. Instead of taking sells like the newbies over here, what we decided to do instead, and this signal was actually shared inside the Surge Notify group. And remember, it was a limit entry, which I'm going to be showing a pop-up right here real quick before I continue the breakdown. This was actually a limit entry, and you can see that it was sent at this time. All the TPs were sent. So you can have exactly the same entry, exactly the same exits, exactly the same take profit as me. Okay, so now back to the video right here. So looking into this one specifically, the thing that I did, I'm like, okay, I knew that beginner, quote unquote, smart money concept traders are going to be entering in this position right here. So what I did next is I was able to identify the trend, okay? And then I was able to identify the H4 was bullish, daily was bullish. And then what did I do next is I was able to spot this very, very clean demand level. But hey, that is not the only confirmation that made me take this entry. If you try to jump to the lower time frame, try to take a look to the 30, 15 minutes, we're able to find this refinement. So I was just kind of using, I think it was this level I was using, or it was the 30 minutes. I think this one right here could be this one, but I kind of just refined it a little bit to this level. And then we had liquidity that was sponsoring this level right here, a very, very clean liquidity. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the entry. If I can just pop it up in the screen right now like a screenshot, you can see that my entry was 2318. So let me just paste that right here, and my stop loss was at 2509. And you have to understand that this setup was actually a new setup. Okay, you don't really see a lot of people that's trading news with confidence and giving you the limit orders. You can only find those types of traders here in Surge Notify. And remember, if you want to be following my signals, my limit entries, you can always find me in Surge Notify. So anyway, we're going to be looking into here right now in the charts. You can see that I did send a limit order right here. Remember, I said this is pre-news. So we're taking an entry before news. And once news kick in, my zones, these were my take profits, right? These were my final TP. Why is it my final TP? Because of this. This is the external liquidity. So what happens next is once the news kicked in around 8:30, kind of wait, 8:30 kicked in. I think we had like an earlier entry right here. The price came all the way down. Bam, perfect, right? This is like 6:45 p.m. in the afternoon. We took our entry. We're in. News will occur in like 2 hours. So prices flew all the way up, right? We're chilling. And then news kicked in an hour later. But remember, we already break even here. We already break even. Like the people that are actually basing their trades after news, right, are still gonna be risking. But what we're doing here is we're actually on break even already. We're already safe. So once news drop around 8:30, right here, look what happens. Now once news drop, there we go, data was released, and boom, instantly smashed our TP4, which we can actually just post up a screenshot right here. 2528.88. Just input those numbers. Very, very clean. Now, I did have some screenshots right now just popping up in the screen, which is updated TPs, you know, everything. I'm just showing you guys pure transparency here. And then I sent an updated alert, which is trimming huge here for 90%. I'm leaving runners targeting these numbers. And you can actually take a look that if I just copy those numbers right there, around all the way right here, what's that? That's like a 6RR setup. Very, very clean. Always show stats. And boom, such a beautiful setup. And if you guys don't believe me that people were actually able to get the same entries as I did, let's just pop up the testimonials in the screen right now. You can see that this guy right here was able to bag around $2.4 thousand in his live funded account. Remember guys, if you want to be seeing setups like this, beautiful entries like this, make sure you join Surge Notify down in the description down below. Before we end, I want you guys to press the like button, press the subscribe button, and I want you guys to turn on the notification bell so you guys will get notified for the next banger videos like this. So I'm gonna be catching you guys on the next one.